I was a regular babysitter, eager to spend the evening with a kind young child. The parents appeared friendly and dependable, and their home appeared warm and welcoming. I had no idea that this babysitting gig, which had seemed so ideal at first, would quickly become a terrifying nightmare. As soon as the parents had gone, I sat down in the living room, eager to enjoy a peaceful evening while the child slept soundly upstairs. My phone started buzzing at that point with an incoming call from an unidentified number. Normally I wouldn't have responded, but I couldn't help myself. Before swiping my finger across the screen to accept the call, I hesitated for a brief moment. I hesitantly greeted them, thinking they might be a telemarketer or a practical joker. An eerie silence, though, greeted me instead. A low, raspy voice broke the silence just as I was about to hang up, giving me the chills. The voice mumbled, "Greetings," with a menacing undertone. "I sincerely hope you're having fun here." My heart jumped a beat. There had to be some sick joke about how this person knew I was in the house. I attempted to laugh it off and dismissed it as a practical joke. "That's funny, huh? The kid set you up for this, right?" I asked, trying to sound cool, but the unease was eating at me. However, the caller's knowledge was unnervingly precise. Every aspect of the house was described, including the squeaky floorboards, the flickering lights, and even the wallpaper that was starting to fall off. They seemed to be keeping an eye on everything I did. I noticed that I was starting to perspire coldly. I nervously looked around the room, half expecting to see hidden cameras or microphones. Nothing. How this person knew so much was inexplicable based on logic. The more the caller described my actions in real time, the more terrified I became. I cast a suspicious glance in the direction of the stairs leading to the kids' room. My mind raced, torn between the need to defend myself and the responsibility I felt toward the child. Should I wake the child and leave? But then again, what if it was just an elaborate prank? I gathered my courage and responded, "Look, whoever you are, this isn't funny anymore," to regain control of the circumstance. "So stop teasing me and go away." The other end's voice darkly giggled. "The real game has just started, my dear. Don't you want to know how it turns out?" I was completely overcome by fear. This wasn't your typical joke. Both the child and I required protection. With a broom in hand, I climbed the stairs while forcing a hard swallow. It was the only improvised weapon I could find in my state of panic. The house appeared to animate with each step. The air became oppressed by an eerie presence as the shadows danced menacingly. I had the impression that I was unwittingly playing a character in a terrifying story. My heart was pounding in my chest as I finally made it to the kids' bedroom. The space was deserted. I was overcome with panic as I frantically searched the entire house for the missing child. A feeling of dread swept over me as I searched every crevice. What if they had taken the kid and were in the house with me, watching everything I did? As I thought about the incredible possibilities, my mind raced. I knew I had to confront this insane person. I dialed 911 with trembling hands, shakily explaining the situation while trying to keep my voice steady. Although assistance was on the way, I couldn't wait impassively. I carefully made my way through the house while carrying the broom, all of my senses on high alert. I jumped at the sound of every floorboard creaking, and the dim lights created unsettling shadows that played mind games with me. The house appeared to be mocking me and thriving off of my anxiety. I suddenly heard a noise, a faint shuffling sound. I held my breath as my heart raced. I moved slowly in that direction, tightening my hold on the broom with each step. I then noticed a figure in the living room's dim light. A stranger in a mask stood in front of me, his eyes gleaming with resentment. As we locked eyes, both of us were aware that the stakes had increased and adrenaline rushed through my veins. Each second of our tense standoff felt like an eternity. To frighten the intruder and buy me some time to flee, I mustered up my last bit of courage and let out a spine-chilling scream. A piercing sound that reverberated throughout the entire house broke the oppressive silence. The intrusive person was startled and stumbled back, tripping over his own feet in an attempt to escape. I pounced on the chance and hastily ran to the front door while holding my broom firmly in my hand. Soon after they arrived, the police thoroughly searched the house. They searched for the trespasser, but they found nothing. It appeared as though he had vanished. The officers comforted me by assuring me that they would look into it further. When the parents arrived at the house, I told them what had happened that night, each word tinged with a mix of relief and lingering unease. We exchanged puzzled looks as we discussed the mysterious intruder's motives and their improbable knowledge of every aspect of the house. After that night, I developed a different perspective on childcare and even life itself. I became more wary and was less likely to dismiss odd occurrences as coincidences. The horrific events of that night lingered in my memory, serving as a terrifying reminder of how evil can slink into even the most seemingly innocent of situations.